I got all the glass cut. I had done all my grinding. One of the things I wanted to point out, because I had said earlier, and you can see these are pieces of scrap clear that I've used, because when I drew the circle to make the perimeter for the pattern, I used a circle cutter and carbon paper, as I detailed in previous videos. So having left the setting on, I cut some scrap and I use that to kind of hold everything together. Now, one of the things I wanted to, and I said when I edged everything, it was going to shrink. You can see how much it shrank here. Okay, about 1/4 of an inch. Okay, from it started to shrink up on top. So when I copper foil this, it's going to grow back up to about that line, which is fine, which is what I expect. The other thing that it needs to really be said is that I keep reading about people saying you have to wash your glass off after you've done grinding. Well, because I use kerosene for cutting lubricant for my glass cutter, okay, and I don't use a grinder coolant, which to me is just a waste of money anyway. I just have plain water in my grinder. Okay, so I'm using kerosene for cutting fluid, plain water in my grinder. When I grind the glass, okay, and dry it off on a towel before I put it on the pattern, what happens is that all I have to do is wipe the dust off the edge of the glass. I don't need to wash it because I'm not using a heavy oil. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, if you're using sewing machine oil, heavyweight oil, motor oil, some kind of oil, and you have to wash the glass off because you use that for cutting fluid, an oil, okay, that adds extra time to the process. Stained glass is already time consuming. It doesn't need to be time wasting, okay? So I'm not going to wash my glass off. All I have to do is wipe the dust off of here and I'll go straight to copper foiling, okay, which is a time saver. But, you know, the ease of, well, I know where I have sewing machine oil, so I'm going to use that. Or I got motor oil, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use 3-in-1 oil. Yes, you can use those things. But the point is that in doing that, it adds time to the process unnecessarily. So I like to keep things simple. So now my next step is to copper foil this. So when I get it copper foiled and I get it all soldered, then I will shoot another little quick video for you all to see. But this is Goth 2. Sorry for the glare, and I know it's really, really dark because for me that's what Goth is, dark colors, blacks, dark colors. You know, usually when I'm making abstracts I'm doing bright and shiny and I've got, you know, joyful and neat looking colors, and you can use stuff that, you know, would normally be construed as, well, it's not good enough to use in a window, but I can put it in an abstract. So, you know, and something really neat looking. Okay, thank you.